So when you look back and you think back to your early 20s, if you were to give advice to your younger self, what would that be?
I think that a lot of it comes down to your habits, and people think that they are going to be successful with these big sweeping moves, and that they're going to have some massive event that's going to change their life. But really, if I look back, it's a sum of tiny little habits: working out every day, sleeping really well, writing down my goals, writing down the things I'm going to do each day to work toward my goals, doing stuff when you don't want to do it, and just throwing yourself into, the things you're supposed to do as opposed to the things you want to do, but doing it daily, like day after day after day after day.
I love
so
that.
It's kind of a boring answer, but that's the answer. So like I think people just sometimes sit around waiting for some great inspiration or some, someone to, some big crypto thing that's going to change their life or whatever. The real answer is like the work that you are supposed to be doing today is all you really need to do.
I love that. And I think I've learned that myself over time as well, is the simple, boring things are actually the ways to success over life. It just takes commitment and compounding over years, if not decades, to get there.
It takes compounding over years, and in my case, decades.
I'm actually just curious, how do you persist through that kind of pain and self-questioning I'm sure that comes up?
Well, I had the benefit of, I'll tell you, I had the benefit of an experience that helped me, which was, I'll go back a little bit in time. So when I was in high school, I wrestled, and I was a pretty good wrestler. And I had this match my junior year. I was the number 1 ranked kid in the district, and I was wrestling the number 2 ranked kid, and I lost. And I was so distraught that I quit. And that was the last match I ever wrestled in my life. And I never wrestled again. And then for the next rest of my junior year and my senior year, I regretted that. And I was like, I felt horrible. I was like, I should have just kept going. Like, it was one match, it was one loss. But I regretted that for the rest of my senior. So then I went to college and I rode crew. Freshman year, get cut, was horrible. Go down and use the rowing machines in the morning to try to get better. Sophomore year, 2 weeks before the big race, I got seat raced out of the boat, come back. Anyway, just keep going and keep going. And I literally wrote down every single day in my journal, I am the best rower in the United States, and I am never going to quit no matter what happens. I wrote that every day in my journal. And then by my senior year, I was captain of a national championship rowing team, and I had one of the top erg times in the world. And so I just saw that it just takes time. And so when I got to Alpine and started Alpine, I was I had the expectation that it was going to take some time. And I also had the knowledge that that I was going to stay with it. And that if I did, eventually it would work out. But it took a long time.